I'm Melissa.
And I'm Mike.
Welcome back.
There's
We have
just
a
craziness going on here in the A&M podcast studios, plural.
right. We just had our pre-show meeting,
Yeah,
unrelated to our
Alyssa's
show.
Alyssa's working in the A&M podcast break room, which is why you can see the coffee bar behind her.
The break room. We
Yeah,
actually needed to be separated today, and he made me come
yeah,
in the break room.
yeah. I was
No, I
like,
just
you don't get
honestly,
to work here.
I like.
Go in the break room.
Okay, hey, a little spoiler alert. I recorded my kitchen and slash dining room, and today, I don't know, I just like this seat better. I have a bunch of the
Yeah,
windows and the door and stuff in front of me, so I felt like the
yeah.
lighting
The
was better
lighting's
here.
nice. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So,
Good location. Good
you
location
know,
choice.
not not to be confused with the A&M break room that also looks identical to this.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It's just a background.
Right. So what are we going to
That's funny.
talk to the people about today?
I have a bone to pick with my dad today on his texting. I don't know if you would call it etiquette. I don't know what it would be called. But, okay, guys, I don't know. People, millennials, I'm a millennial, right?
Yeah, sure.
Millennials.
That's what they
Millennials
tell
gather
me.
around. If you're not a millennial, skip forward a little bit.
Yeah, jump on Team Mike.
So, do do all the millennials out there, do all of our parents text the same? Because or at least like our dads, because mom's a little bit more animated in her messages. She uses more exclamation points and emojis and reactions, like proper reactions and things like that. I don't know what it is with my dad's texting, but you know what? I should get one of the brothers on the horn. Let me get Brandon on the phone because I know they would agree with me. If I text him, I could text him the best news ever. Like I can't even think of just imagine me texting him the best news that could be happening right now. Like, Dad, you're not gonna believe it. I just got a promotion at this job. I'm making more money than I've ever made ever. I just closed on this house. Like, it doesn't matter. Great news. His response, cool, period. Nice, period. A thumbs up reaction.
Okay.
Like, why do you, and I've asked him before, I'm asking him on the podcast just so I have record of it. But when I've asked him in the past, like, why do you put a period at the end? Like, it makes it seem so cold and like
It's
dismissive, actually,
it's
dismissive.
see, you
And
read it totally differently because to me it's just using proper grammar
that's
and
what he
I
tells
didn't
me. Now I
I
have it
didn't
on
I
record.
didn't
That's
know
what he
that was a
tells
hate
me.
crime.
You could, if I tell you something even like, I don't know, slightly exciting, like you could at least say nice with an exclamation point,
I
cool with
try
an
to do the
exclamation
oh
point,
nice exclamation point.
smiley face, like something, heart reaction. Nobody thumbs up, thumbs ups my text more than you do. And this is
Now
why I'm in the break room, by the way, because we
is
knew we were going to fight. No.
yeah. It's is the why is the thumbs up a problem? I need to understand what's wrong with the thumbs up because I use that at work a lot in Slack too. So if that's a problem, I need to understand
That's true. You know what? I use
it.
it at work as well, but I guess when I use it at work,
There we are.
it's different because it's like, hey, I completed the but even then, because now, okay, you know why especially now the thumbs up is an issue? Because like you're trying too hard to be professional. Like you're trying like now there's no excuse for you to give me a thumbs up because in text you can put whatever, at least on iPhone, this is not to the Android users. Exit the chat. But you could You could literally react to any with any emoji you want. Why are you using the thumbs up?
It's well, first of all, it's the first one. I think it's right there. It's just easy to access, and it says what I need to say. It's communicating. Hey,
So, like,
I'm good with that. Great
if
news.
if I
Just
use a when I'm using a thumbs up, it's like good for you. Like you might as well insert the middle finger emoji on my text.
uh, so you're saying it's like too passive aggressive, or you're taking it passive aggressive. See,
Bingo.
if I was trying to be passive aggressive with you, I would do what like your generation does and just use silence and vague Instagram posts.
Silence. That, like, what's going on with dad? He just posted a
Yeah,
quote on his Instagram.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Then you'd know something was up.
I don't do any of that. I'm not included in that. I'm actually different than that. I'll tell you exactly why I'm upset with you, which is what I'm doing right now, actually.
That's true.
Actually, I'll bring you to my podcast and tell you why I'm upset with you.
That's true. See, I thought it was going to be more the complaint that like us Gen Xers, we're too long in our texts. I thought that was going to be more your complaint about my texts than
Your texts
like
aren't
they're
long
too
enough.
short.
No, they
Uh,
are too short. Yes, your
yeah.
texts are way too short. They're too like cool. What am I supposed to say after that? Are you proud of me or not?
Nothing. Yeah, nothing. That just says it all. Like I don't I don't like being verb. I don't know the word, but speaking too much in text. You know that about me.
So,
Because here's the problem with texts, right? Here's the
yes.
problem with text is it's everything that you're talking about right now. Is it's too easy to infer intent in a text, and the same thing goes with like email. But it's too
True.
easy to infer intent. Like I accidentally leave my caps on and don't realize before I send, and suddenly somebody thinks I'm angry. you know, it's that whole thing. So that's why mine are short. It's just like, oh, nice, good job,
I
thumbs
would just
up.
I would appreciate a right like you look at a thumbs up as like, you know, like if I look at the kids, if like kids are eating something and like I want to know if it's good, I'll be like, "Ah, good." I'm also smiling though. I'm smiling behind the
Right.
thumbs up. It's like, an
Okay, so
animated like
I'm going to replace my thumbs up with one of the custom ones, one of the sticker ones of me going. Will that be better?
that would be a lot better. I would be like, "Oh wow, look how happy he is
Yeah.
about the fact that I switched the cat's food to a better to a to a better
the
brand."
other the other thing you got to realize is sometimes when I'm responding to a text, it's being responded to on my watch, and when you're responding to a text on your watch, like, and I'm checking this right now as we speak.
Good.
Like,
Yeah.
let's see if I go to and I'm gonna do it to yours. Okay, yeah. So if I'm reacting right now to your text from a minute ago, like the first option is the heart. You do have the custom ones, but they're harder to
The
get
first
to on the
option is the
watch.
heart, and you
The
don't
first option
use
is
it
heart.
ever.
Yeah, but I mean, because the heart is like, wow, that's really, I really like that. The thumbs up is just like, that's great. It's just, it's a
I
different reaction. I
I
reserve
heart
the heart
reacts.
for very special occasions. How's
Oh
that?
my god, you do. I react the heart to everything. You could tell me like, "Hey,
If
I'm
you react the hat,
okay."
if you react the heart to everything, then you're reacting the heart to nothing because it means nothing.
I do the red heart if I really really love it. I do the pink general heart for everything else.
Oh wow,
If
that's
you
putting
tell
way too much thought in
you
it.
text me, "Hey, home." Heart, pink heart. If I texted you, "Hey, I'm home," you would text me a thumbs up.
I would.
Good job,
That
Alyssa.
means,
Like, who
first of all,
cares?
but
Who
it
cares, Alyssa?
refers.
Thanks for letting me know.
If you
Like,
go to, I think
that's
it's
what I hear.
Facebook, right? It refers to the thumbs up as you liked it, right?
Okay. Yes.
I like that. I like that you're home. Okay. I
You
don't
should
love it.
love. You should love that I am home and safe. You should love that. As my father. So I googled the thumbs up emoji,
Okay.
and Google even said, Google says thumbs up emoji meaning a thumbs up gesture indicating approval. In certain contexts, the thumbs up emoji can be constructed as
There we
passive
go.
aggressive or sarcastic.
That's just it's like I said. If I was being sarcastic or passive aggressive, I would just
True.
post something questionable on Instagram.
Well,
Like
that's I think it's funny the difference between like generation texting. It used to be like my generation, I guess it was my generation where we would just use a bunch of it was like a known thing of my generation would be the one using cuz I feel like we kind of started my generation. We kind of started the whole like abbreviations, right? Wouldn't you say that?
no,
Like the
you know,
LOLs and like
no,
the texting etiquette type stuff.
no, you know where that stuff came from? That
Tell
that's
me.
it came from the fact that back in the day when you texted somebody, you paid like per character, per letter.
Oh
There was
yeah.
no unlimited texting. So back then it was like, well, he can't, for me to type, I'm laughing out loud at what you just said is going to be like
Oh my gosh, that
cost.
is
That's
so
going to be, I'm going to
funny.
have to, yeah, I'm going to have to take out like a loan to pay the phone bill for that. So LOL means the same thing. That's where that all came from.
Wow, that's really funny. Well, see, I would text that back in the day. Um, well, just in general, I feel well, I'm still gonna claim it. I'm still gonna claim that our generation really started picking up the lingo and I think even the reactions to all of it, that's a my generation thing. I'm going to claim it.
Well,
And I think that now, I don't feel like I use too many abbreviations anymore.
no, because I mean, I feel like a lot of them too, like LOL. LOL has kind of fallen by the wayside. I feel like people will do haha instead of LOL.
Or like just a laughing emoji.
Or just a laughing emoji.
I think I
Also
put
true.
more laughing emojis, the dead emoji. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the dead emoji. A lot of people are using that now.
The kids
These
were
young
making
people
fun of
today.
Nicole and I recently. I actually like I sent her a Snapchat of it because they're like, "Hold on, I'm gonna pretend that I'm you and Nicole." The girls are like, "Oh, I'm gonna pretend I'm you and Nicole." Oh my god, I'm so dead. I'm dying. It was so rude, actually, a little bit.
But you do both do that. You do both do that.
That means I think it's really funny.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So don't the thing the point is don't get upset. I'm just efficient with my words. I just use
But
the minimal number of words that I need to use to get the point across. That's all.
so
It's
the thing is,
simple.
oh, my camera's shaking. The thing is that I saw it. What made me like really think about it was that I've seen TikToks about it before, and then I was listening to this radio station that I like from they're like based in Tampa, and I think they're a little younger than me, maybe by like a couple years, but they're all best friends, and they have a radio station in Tampa, and the main guy on there was talking about how his parents do that. His parents, both of them, which if you and mom were doing that, I would really just be like, wow, someone needs to teach you guys how to text properly. Um,
See, now I'm going to start sending the longest possible texts I can back. By the way, just a clue: if you ever get a really long text from me, I was probably speaking, doing speech to text to type it because I hate typing texts too.
yeah, I do that with some things.
Yeah, you
Um,
also do the thing where you record, right? You do that where you record
I
and say something to
love
somebody, which is kind of just call, like
oh my gosh, I love a good old what is it?
voice memo.
It's not a voice memo, it's a I mean, I guess it's technically a voice memo. It's
I
called
think it's a
something
voice
else.
memo. Yeah.
I don't know. Yes, I love those. I love sending. I'll send Ira literally like 3 5 minute long voice memos just talking about something. You know why I do that though? Because, people are busy nowadays. Not everybody
Yeah.
just has time to sit there on the phone with me. So, but I still have things to say. So I'm going to send you a
So
voice
you
memo.
okay? So you want them to get, but you want to make sure that they get context and that they can not just read the words and go, "What you mean by that?" So that they can hear your inflection in your voice, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And because I can describe the story better, to be honest, I don't like sending big long texts to somebody. I'm not really like
Mhm.
I'm going to go back and forth in a long text with you. I am somebody who does prefer to talk on the phone over text, unless it's just something quick. But if
Yeah.
I'm trying to like really talk, I want to talk on the phone.
Yeah. No, there are circumstances where I will admit a phone call is better than a text, but 95% of the time a text is better. Like the one that I think is funny is when somebody needs something immediately, but they text me. That drives me crazy. It's
Mom
like,
does that. We know
yeah,
exactly who you're
I
talking
didn't want
about.
to mention any names. She won't hear this anyway. But but
True.
but yeah, there's nothing that drives me more crazy is like than like the text and then the follow up text that's angry because you didn't respond
When
in a
I'm with
quick enough
her.
time to the first text, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, it rings if you call me. If you text me, it may take. And I've had times where like then like 2 minutes later, maybe not 2 minutes later, but like 30 seconds later, the actual text came through. Because then, the second text comes and it's like not quick enough. So then you get the call and the text comes in after.
Yeah, see, you guys all wear your Apple Watches. I have mine. It's just been in there on charge for like 2 weeks. But
It's charged. It should be charged at this point. If it's been in there for 2 weeks, it should be fully charged.
I just always forget to put it on. But I do like the convenience, aspect of it. But I know that you guys always have your watches on. So I get kind of
Yeah, but you don't always get notified. The
okay,
notifications
well,
don't always come through on the watch.
that's I when you guys don't answer my phone calls, my text messages.
Phone calls are different, but like text messages, like I've had times on my Apple Watch where somebody texted me and never dinged, it never did anything, and then a minute later I'll like look down, I have three unread texts, and I'm like, what the heck? So I don't know why that happens, but it happens. It's technology. It's imperfect. That's why I don't trust the robots.
It's imperfect. What about, okay, so would you rather have a long phone conversation with somebody or would you rather text? Because I don't feel like,
What do you mean by long phone conversation? Like this conversation we're having here, this would be annoying over text.
I was going to say, like, if I have to tell you something, if I'm telling you about a podcast that I saw
Right.
or what I called you about earlier,
Send me the podcast. I'll just listen to it. Then we can
but I
talk
have
about it
things to
after.
say about it. Because
Yeah.
I feel like everyone always says that I'm very chatty and like, I talk a lot and I have, but
Hmm.
it's because I have a lot to say. But
I'm just side note is where I'm just looking at my text conversations with other people, and I think you may be right because like Brandon texted me like two paragraphs, and my response was nice exclamation point. Then he had another paragraph, and my response to that was oh nice exclamation point. Then he sent me a picture, and my response to that was wow nice exclamation point.
see,
Yeah,
you're the
yeah.
problem. And you know
I'm
what?
not the problem. I'm just efficient. It's
The
not. It's
thing
not.
is,
It's only a problem if you dislike efficiency.
someone that doesn't know how you text might get the wrong idea. That's all I'm saying. You know
Yeah.
what? I actually have worked with someone like people before who have um they've like sent emails kind of how you do. And it's funny because I would always like, I mean, I always knew because I would have meetings with them as well. So like I knew their personality. Like I know that their personality wasn't like where they intended for it to come off like cold or whatever. But because of how the text looked, I'll be like, sending a bunch of things, exclamation points, you know, might even throw in a smiley face there, which I have another question for you after
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
But, I tell them a bunch of like all this exciting news and information, and then I'll get something back. Okay, cool. Okay, thanks. Period.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I remember I would have conversations before, like, yeah, she kind of comes off like a little,
Yeah.
like, is she mad? Like, did I do something? I just told her really good news. Like,
Yeah.
we have a little bit, scrolling in our text now, we have a little bit more like conversations
That's
because
what I was
of
just looking at.
this
Yep.
podcast.
Yeah.
But I think if I scrolled up far enough,
Yeah. I'm not finding.
like you sent, okay, I sent something about the podcast, and that's what got a nice exclamation point, exclamation, two exclamation points, exclamation points. Yeah, you're
Yeah, I don't know.
okay.
I mean,
You
I,
have stepped up your texting to me.
see, see, and let's see. Most of the conversations, my responses are short and to the point because you know I don't like to say anything that can be used against me. No,
This podcast, right? This podcast brought us together. Basically,
yeah, that's right.
is what I'm seeing in our messages.
No,
Okay, so
I know what you're saying about like not being able to read people because I know like a couple of jobs ago I had like right after I started I was trying to schedule some vacation time. It was like a trip that was previously planned before I started,
mhm,
and I was there a little bit, but I wasn't there that long.
mhm,
And my boss just responded okay to the email, and I was like, oh gosh, are they upset? Are they mad that I'm taking like
yeah.
vacation time right away? Oh gosh, I
Hey, just
shouldn't have
kidding.
done
I
that.
don't
I
need
should,
any time off.
yeah, yeah, ever. I don't ever need to take a day off. And then I found out later that that's just how he was on, on messages. He was just short and to the point because he's same generation. So there we are. Um, and then after that, I knew it was okay. That when I just got an okay response, it really just meant okay.
Yeah. No, exactly. I've had that happen too before. Okay, period. You're like,
Yeah. I don't know why the punctuation upsets you though. That's
it's just very like, like just
you know what I'm gonna
okay.
do? I'm gonna find an AI bot that I can have just respond to my texts, and I'll just it'll have to train to know how I think, and then it'll just respond to my texts for me, and I can tell it to be more verbose.
Okay, so what do you think about using emojis in professional settings, like in Slack, emails,
Yeah,
whatever?
yeah. Um, in certain circumstances, I think it's okay. Like we use them a lot. They actually use them a lot where I work.
Yeah.
But more the reaction. There's the reaction ones that you can do. More the reaction ones.
Hmm.
I think it like in a professional setting, it gets a little weird if you're using too many. Like otherwise, But the reaction ones I think are okay. The other ones I think, like I said, it can get a little weird. Because there's that whole thing of, and I remember somebody somewhere where I worked talking about like it was a a female coworker, and she talked about some guy. I don't think it was somebody that worked at the company. I think it was like somebody that worked at a company that we worked with, like a vendor that we had who like was responding with like emojis that were kind of like like oh gosh what's this too many heart type emojis for things that shouldn't have
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
heart
yeah.
eyes, that kind of thing. and and that's where it
That's a
can
little
get weird. Yeah, that's where it can get really weird, and you can probably get yourself see that's where I think they ought to have
yeah.
a very limited number of those available in work chats so that you stay away from those kind of things because even if even
I'll
if even if the person didn't intend it that way, somebody's potentially reading it that way, and now somebody's having to go to HR.
I'll use like regular smiley faces.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, smiley face.
Yeah. Yeah. There's even the smiley faces. There's some of them that are like a little, the eyes are going like something like that.
Yeah,
Those ones
so
are.
at work, I use the one that if somebody sent me, if a friend or whatever sent me in text, I would be like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
But at work I just use the one where it's just the little mouth and the two eyes. That
Yeah.
again,
That's the
outside of
safe
work,
one.
it looks
That's the
creepy.
safe one. Yeah.
Outside of work, I'd be like, why are you sending me the like
Yeah. Why'd you send
murder
me
face
that one?
emoji?
Yeah, the murder face. Is that what that one's called?
The serial killer face emoji. Oh my gosh. This is so off topic from this subject, but just saying murder. Did you hear? Let's go to a little current events now. You know those guys that escaped from that prison in New Orleans?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like 10 guys escaped. 3 of them they caught.
They caught another
7 are
one. I
still
think
in
a
the.
fourth. I
Oh,
think
did
they
they
caught a
caught?
fourth
They catch a
one
fourth? Last I saw a
too.
little bit earlier, they'd only
Or
caught 3.
no, yeah, I think I saw on TikTok that they caught a
They
fourth
caught
one,
another one.
but
Wow.
people are laughing because they literally all stayed in New Orleans.
Yeah, yeah. That's it.
Like what?
Like,
One of
right?
them went back to like his old neighborhood.
I mean, so here's my thoughts on
Like no
that.
plan. They just escaped. No
Like,
plan. They just
none of
they're
these
like,
guys,
"Mom."
none of these guys were in jail because they were embezzling, hundreds of millions of dollars from their corporation that they work for or something like that. Like these were, they're in jail because they're not the brightest people on the planet in the first place. So the fact that they escaped and then were like trying to buy gum in the 7-Eleven across the street from the jail
Is
would
that
not
what one of them
surprise me.
did?
No, no, I'm saying that
Oh.
if they did say that, that wouldn't surprise me at all. It is funny. I don't know if you've seen the video of them getting out of like they all just go running out, and then they showed them go running across the highway. There was because there's security cameras everywhere now.
Mhm.
And I said, and there's cars going up the highway, and I was like, can you imagine? Because you know where the Orange County jail is, like right there by John Young Parkway when you're going through downtown. I said, could you imagine if you were like driving up I-4 and you saw these guys just running across the highway from the jail side? I'd be like, uh oh.
You know what's crazy though to me is that like they weren't checked on for 7 hours. That's like that's almost a whole shift.
Oh yeah, right. And nobody yeah, like
How
shouldn't
does
somebody have checked up on them? That's true.
like shouldn't
That's a very
I don't
good
know.
point.
I guess I assume like in jail, which I've never been, but I just assume that in jail like that there's somebody like constantly patrolling in some way. Like that was just the end of the hallway that nobody went down. Like I don't
Yeah,
understand.
maybe. I mean,
I
I don't
did watch
know.
a movie where
The,
they like make it look like they're sleeping in their bed and then they somehow
yeah,
escape or whatever.
right. That might have been it. They bunched up the sheets to look like they were laying in there.
But
Um, but I also heard some things that said they're pretty sure that there was somebody like on the inside that helped them,
oh
that
yeah, that's
somehow
usually what
helped
it
them.
is.
Yeah,
So
but
funny.
like they showed the one guy, and he or I guess it was 2 of them that were walking down the street, and he was trying to cover his face as he's walking past where there was like a camera,
Mhm.
but he had different clothes. I'm like, how do you get those clothes?
There was someone that I saw on TikTok last night because the guy who like posted the picture. Oh my gosh, it had me laughing so much. So the it had me LOLing. So the guy who was like reacting to the photo, it was 2 cops on each side of the prisoner, and then the prisoner was just he was in regular clothes. And
Mhm.
it was because he went back to his old neighborhood. So he went back to his old neighborhood, got a new outfit.
Oh God,
And the
was he
guy
one of the ones who was caught?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
he was,
Good.
yeah, because that's how the police caught him, because he just went back to his old neighborhood. That's why the guy reacting, he's like,
Yeah.
you escaped from prison and you go back to your old neighborhood?
Yeah,
Like,
like
I would have
that
been, the
that
way
was the
I would have
first
been out of
place we
the
were going to
state.
look. Like,
Yeah.
all right, well, let's go check his house and he's
Yeah.
sitting there on the front porch. Like, come on.
Just in a different outfit.
Yeah.
And then he was laughing though at the picture of the cops, even like on each side of him. Like there's one cop on one side, one cop on the other. He's like, and why are the cops? Because it was a photo. It's like,
Right.
why are these cops posing with this man like they just caught a 3 foot bass?
Yeah, that is always kind of funny. I mean, I
Like
think so.
what?
I think it's because like when that kind of thing happens, it's because it was. I don't think it was like a prison, but it was like a jail. Like it was
Just regular jail.
the sheriff's office jail. Um, so I think like they're trying to like kind of because it looks bad for them, right? It's their jail, and these
Yeah.
guys escaped, so they're trying to be like, "Ha, we caught them."
Yeah. You should have never let
Yeah,
them out
like,
in the first
but they
place. Like
got
what?
out because you guys weren't being responsible enough
Like
with your
nobody was, yeah.
like somebody checked the locks. Did somebody make sure the door was locked or
It said that the way they got out was was that they removed like a, was it a water fountain or a toilet or something?
uh
And then they like cut a hole behind it. I don't know. To be honest, prison escapes super impressive. Like
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
because
That's a lot
how?
of work. That's a lot.
And
And
especially that many of them, 10?
also
10 of y'all built up a plan and like snuck
right
out of this tiny hole behind the toilet.
behind the
I
toilet.
don't understand it.
Yeah.
I would be too nervous. I would be one of them backing out like no, like they said at first
But
at
also,
11
how badly was this prison designed that like the way to get out is just cut a
removing a
hole
toilet.
behind the toilet. That seems like a poorly designed prison.
Yeah, I don't know. Something like through the pipes. I forget what movie it was that I
Also,
saw.
somebody cutting a hole behind, like, how are you doing that? Like, okay, so you go in the bathroom and you're working on cutting the hole. Does somebody not
No,
get suspicious from the sawing sounds or?
I think it was like the toilet in one of their cells.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know how everyone else got. I have no idea. But
Yeah,
the
yeah,
picture
yeah.
I saw, it was, but like, so the movie that I saw, I can't think of the name of it. I wish I could think of the name of it. But it was these two men and they escaped from prison together. And it was like a plan that they constructed over the course of like many, many weeks, months
Yeah,
probably.
yeah,
And then they like, you know, one of them was literally crawling in this pipe like at night when he should have been sleeping for just weeks at a time or months at a time. He was um crawling in the pipe, crawling through this hole like behind his bed, crawling through the pipes and just slowly like building his escape. It wasn't like, hey, I think there's a hole behind the toilet. Tomorrow night, let's
yeah.
crack that. Let's crack that sucker open and
Let's
see.
let's see what's out there.
And it,
Wouldn't it have been funny? See, I picture it being like, a movie, and I picture like them all getting in there and moving the toilet and going out through the hole, and like as soon as they get out there, there's a guard standing there.
oh
You know,
yeah, that is, yeah,
that would
that
have
is.
been really funny.
That's what I'm
We
surprised they
wouldn't have
don't
heard
have.
about it if that happened, though. Yeah, you'd think there would be.
I
Yeah,
feel like it's harder to escape out of like a high school
yeah,
or
yeah,
school
yeah.
than it sounds like
Truthfully,
jail.
yeah.
I left high school once
I want to know
to
what they
go
were.
get lunch and came back and I got caught. Like how what?
Yeah, I
Maybe it's
want to
because I
know.
came back.
I want to know what they were in for, like how long they were supposed to be in for. That like it seemed like a good idea to them to break out.
A couple of them, I think it said was they were like convicted murderers.
Oh wow. Okay, so they were. Wow.
It was like some of them were, it was bad
I
stuff.
mean, I don't
Yeah.
know why I'm surprised by that because I'm thinking like if you were just in there for like something that where it was like 10 days or something like that, like
Oh yeah, it's
you'd
no
be
like
really
minor
dumb to.
sentences. Yeah.
But then again, the one guy did go right back to his house, so there's that.
He's like, guys, I'm home.
So what did we learn this episode? I need to text longer. I apparently do text longer, and at least to you, but not to Brandon. And
Brandon's
don't
gonna
break
get
out of
his
jail.
feelings
And
hurt.
you know how you can prevent break. I have the foolproof way to prevent from having to break out of jail. Don't go to jail.
You know, that is a good plan. You know what's also funny is that they initially said that 11 guys escaped, but then they were like, "Oh, just kidding, it was 10." They did the roll count and the 11th
Ah,
guy, he was
oh,
still in jail. I was
great.
like, "Wow, that would be
So,
me." Like, "Hey guys, yeah,
oh,
I'm totally game for the plan." Just kidding. I'm chickening
yeah,
out last
I'm not
minute.
down for
I'm just
that.
gonna stay here.
Although, wait, is that what happened, or were they just really bad at doing a head count, and they were like, "No, wait, let me count again. No, 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 he's here. He's here. He's." You know what I mean? I mean, they allowed the prison break to happen. They may not have been that good at keeping count of the prisoners since it happened 7 hours before they recognized that it happened. So,
You know what's also crazy about that though? Like, you have to think at the same time, I think when you're in a situation like some of them, at least I'm sure, where they're in jail for the rest of their life. So, you know, yeah, let me try and
worth the
break out.
risk.
It either
Worth the risk.
works
Yeah.
or I'm still staying in jail for the rest of my life. Like,
Yeah.
let's see
Yeah.
if it
I guess.
works. Like,
But you got to have a better plan for once you get out.
true. Like
You
one
know.
of them was just hiding under a car, like outside the
Yeah.
jail. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I
yep,
heard that
leave.
one.
Like, leave
Yeah.
the state.
Right. Like.
Literally,
Yeah.
Texas is that way.
The
Like,
worst.
just go.
It's like the worst hide and seek players on the planet. You know.
Except the ones that are still missing, which, you know.
Right. Right. They're apparently better at it. But and I was saying before that I think that the longer that they aren't found, the less the likelihood that they will be found because every hour that goes by that they don't find them, the search perimeter widens and widens and widens, and it's just less likely you would find them. Now, most likely if they're people that you know not to say that anyone by nature is a criminal, but some people by nature have tendencies, and so it's likely that they'll probably commit crime somewhere along the way,
Yeah.
and they'll get
My
caught then, and then they'll end up going back.
my advice, if any of you are listening to the A&M podcast right now, is to turn over a new leaf and don't get in trouble.
Yeah,
Be
that
good.
that's a good
Behave.
plan. Yeah, yeah. You behave.
That's what I would do. I would turn over a new
Yep.
leaf. Maybe, I wouldn't go to Mexico because I don't think I could turn
No.
over a new leaf there.
Yeah, that'd be difficult. Be difficult. But I think it'd be better going out of the country because,
Couldn't stay in
how,
the state
how are you going to
either.
get a
Couldn't get
job?
up couldn't get up
Yeah.
to Canada. Like I really,
Right.
you know,
Right. Yeah.
that's why I behave.
Yeah. Exactly. Because I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to have to crawl out behind a toilet. I don't want to do that. That
I
doesn't
don't want
sound
to
like
do
fun.
that. That's not what I'm
Crawling
trying to
out
do.
behind a toilet doesn't sound like fun. All right. Well, thumbs up emoji on this episode.
Wait, you just disappeared when you did that.
Oh, wow. I
I
don't
don't
know.
see you
Oh,
anymore.
add effects using hand gestures. That's why apparently this supports adding effects using hand gestures.
Are you
So
serious?
thumbs
Oh,
up. Yeah. Like
so
Zoom
that's
does. Zoom does that too. Like
like
if
the
you do
iPhone, like
thumbs
on
up or
FaceTime.
you do heart hands,
Yeah.
it'll put hearts. I don't want it to do that on the podcast, but yeah. I've had that happen on Zoom calls too, where people are just like, they're just thumbs upping something and it starts doing the thumbs up emoji and they're like, oh,
Oh my
wasn't
gosh.
expecting that.
Real quick, like how funny is it at the end of a meeting all the time when everyone's just like, let's implement this
Yeah,
here.
yeah. All
Okay.
right. Okay. Bye everyone.
Like I'm
Yep.
on mute.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I
That's my
remember
thing is usually on, especially calls with a lot of people, I'll have mine on mute because, if I know I'm not going to be an active participant, I'm just there to
I'm just there to
observe.
listen. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'll sit there and go, bye everybody. And I'm still on mute. And you can read my lips.
They just, yeah. And there was this post I saw on Instagram where it was like, imagine if we just waved at each other like that in real life when ending a
Yeah.
meeting.
Yep.
So,
Bye
anyways,
everyone.
guys,
Yeah.
bye.